Approach the instructor to start the lesson.
Welcome to the operations tutorial for the RadEye PRD. Would you like to get started? Alright then, make sure you pay attention, as I will be asking you a question or two after each demonstration before we move on. Keep in mind that you can interact with the RadEye at any time by pressing the O key and clicking on the device's controls. Okay, go to the table indicated by the flashing arrow, where you will be shown the demonstration. Come back to me once you are done there.
To power on the RadEye, hold the down arrow key until an audio tone sounds. The calibration date and firmware version will briefly be shown before the main screen appears. The RadEye will then initiate a 30-second learning period where it calculates the naturally occurring radiation background level. Turning the PRD on near radiation sources, or in areas of elevated background level, will reduce the device's ability to detect other sources. It is a good practice to get in the habit of only powering on any radiation detection instrument in a clean, low background environment. To power off the RadEye, simply press the menu key 3 times. This will take you to the menu, select Switch Off, and confirm the "Are you sure?" prompt.
Are you ready to move on? Remember, you can re-watch these videos from the menu. Okay, let's see if you can answer this. When turning on the RadEye, you should Yes, it is important to power on the RadEye with as low background radiation as possible. Are you ready to move on? This demonstration covers the elements of the RadEye's on-screen display. Okay, go to the table indicated by the flashing arrow, where you will be shown the demonstration. Come back to me once you are done there.
The configuration shown here uses the dose rate in R per hour for both the numerical display in the center of the screen and the meter display across the bottom of the screen. Other configurations may show the gamma counts per second, shown as CPS, or alternatively a simple 1 through 9 level value. The downward pointing arrow on the meter represents the Alarm 1 threshold, while the upward pointing arrow represents the Alarm 2 threshold. The battery status is displayed in the upper left corner of the main screen. The heartbeat symbol next to the battery indicates that the PRD is functioning properly by alternately flashing a small and large heart. The internal temperature appears in the top line of the display screen. If Finder mode or single pulse mode are active, the appropriate speaker icon will be displayed in the upper right corner of the display.
Are you ready to move on? One question before we move on. What does the heartbeat indicate on the RadEye? Correct. The heartbeat indicates that the RadEye is functioning properly. This demonstration will show you how to change the RadEye's batteries. Okay, Go to the table indicated by the flashing arrow, where you will be shown the demonstration. Come back to me once you are done there.
If the battery status indicator is empty, you will need to change the batteries. With the RadEye off, peel back the bottom of the rubber cover as shown. Be careful not to apply pressure to the top button, as it could become damaged. Remove the back cover using a coin. Remove the old batteries and insert a fresh pair of AAA batteries. Observe the markings on the housing to orient them correctly. Replace the battery cover and then reposition the rubber protective cover.
Are you ready to move on? Let's see how well you are paying attention. What kind of batteries does the RadEye require? That's correct. The RadEye requires two AAA batteries. Are you ready for the next demonstration? This next demonstration will teach you the basic pre-operation functions of the RadEye, including setting the alarm indicators and clearing the accumulated dose. Okay, go to the table indicated by the flashing arrow, where you will be shown the demonstration. Come back to me once you are done there.
To turn the sound on or off, press the menu key and use the up and down arrow keys to scroll to the sound option. Then press the menu key to select or deselect the sound option. To turn vibrate on or off, scroll to the vibrate option and use the menu key to select or deselect the vibrate option. Likewise, to turn the LED indicator on or off, scroll to the LED option and press the menu key to select or deselect it. To clear the accumulated dose, scroll down to the Clear Dose option. Press the menu key to access the Clear Dose feature. Press the menu key again in response to the Clear Dose prompt, then one more time in response to the Are you sure prompt.
Are you ready to move on? Now we're going to cover some of the other nuances of the RadEye. First up is how to reduce the volume of sounds on the RadEye. Though there is no volume control on the RadEye, you can reduce the volume by covering the speaker port with a piece of tape. If you wish to silence all sounds, turn off the Sound option, turn off the Finder and Single Pulse modes, and turn off the Key Beep option if it is available. Next, we'll cover how to acknowledge alarms on the RadEye. You can acknowledge an alarm and silence it by pressing the Mode button on the top of the RadEye. The alarm will not sound again until the next time an alarm threshold is crossed. Before we move on, let's see if you caught an important piece of information. Is acknowledging an alarm equivalent to turning sounds off? That's not quite right. Try again. Is acknowledging an alarm equivalent to turning sounds off? Correct. Acknowledging an alarm by pressing the mode button temporarily disables the alarm until the next time an alarm threshold is crossed. Ready to continue? Now, we're going to discuss the alarm thresholds of the RadEye. The RadEye has 2 alarm thresholds, each with their own indicator behavior. The first alarm will result in the RadEye LED blinking slowly and sounding like this. The second alarm will have a fast blinking LED and sound like this. The current alarm level will also flash at the top of the LCD screen. It will alternate with the energy level of the detected source, which will be indicated as having high, low, or balanced energy. If the NBR alarm or natural background radiation alarm is active, the RadEye will alarm whenever it detects a change in the spectrum of the radiation from the background that it learned when it was powered on, even if the overall radiation level has not changed. Finally, when responding to an alarm, it is important to check the dose rate to ensure safe levels. Practice the principles of ALARA and refer to your agency's SOPs for specific response actions. Before we move on, let's check your understanding of the alarm thresholds. With all available alarm thresholds active, which alarm is most likely to be triggered first by a high-energy gamma source? Yes, the NBR alarm is most likely to be triggered since it relies on a change in the background radiation spectrum, which high-energy gamma radiation provides, rather than a significant change in the gamma dose rate. Well, that's it for the theory. Let's have a practice session now. The source is ready now. Go, search, and tag the source using the E key once you find it. Exit this level through the radio menu. Press Escape and click Quit when you are finished.